Good afternoon, everybody. JDev has returned once again to give you exactly what you want. And of course, that'd be more of me, that amazing backdrop that's behind me, giving you my thoughts, my opinions, and hopefully in this particular video, some expert analysis on a certain topic subject. Coming off, which is apparently now one of the most controversial series finales of a TV show of all time, the Game of Thrones series finale, where a lot of you fucking hate the episode. Not all of you, but a good majority of you hate the fucking episode. And I understand it. I'm a little bit more neutral. There's some things I liked and there's some things I didn't like. But instead of focusing on the negative, I want to focus on the positive. And that would be updating my top 20 favorite characters of all time list of Game of Thrones, of course. Now, this might not be the last time I do this. In fact, it won't be the last time I do this. I'm going to watch this show again from start to finish at least probably 10 more times in my life, if not a lot more. And I figured it'd be nice, since we just finished Season 8, to update this list just in case there's some changes. And I did change some things around a little bit. So, before I get in this list, it's very important that if you have a favorite character, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or 20 like me, you need to include it. Write a comment. That would be greatly appreciated. Make sure you like the video, or you don't have to like it. Thumb it up. Do all that stuff. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed to the channel already, because I want to know what you're thinking about this. And you can leave your thoughts on the Season 8 as well. Again, I liked a lot of it. I really liked the Long Night episode. That's fucking awesome, just to give you guys a heads up. So, let's get started. My top 20 favorite characters of all time. Not going to dwell too much into this, kind of name somebody quick and then move on to the next person. But number 20, Grandmaster Pycelle. He hasn't been on the list before, but he's a good character. Kind of is like a character where everybody kind of tunes out when he starts mumbling stuff and it's an abomination. The Citadel. I don't know, Pycelle. I liked Pycelle. I'm surprised I didn't put him on the list before, but he's a memorable character, so he's number 20. Number 19 would be Tommen Baratheon, or Tommen Lannister, in my opinion, because obviously it's not Robert Baratheon's son, but Tommen was a good character. I really like Tommen. He was a hell of a lot better than Joffrey, and it's unfortunate what happened to him when he decided to opt out after seeing where Marjorie Tyrell was and the place blowing up. So, Tommen, number 19. Number 18, somebody new to the list. I had to include this person because he has an actual impact on the end of the show, and that would be Hodor. Hodor. Hey, if it wasn't for Hodor, our future king, spoiler alert, Bran wouldn't have made it that far. So, Hodor was a funny character. He's a good character. He's kind of likable. A little creepy at times, but hey, had to put Hodor on the list. So, Hodor, number 18. Number 17, a character that didn't get a lot of time in the show, but when she did, I thought she was a good character, and that would be Asha. I really liked Asha. Was one of the wildlings that Robb and Theon captured, and I just thought she was a good character until Ramsay got a hold of her and killed her, but she's number 17. Number 16, Tormund Giantsbane. It's funny that I've never had Tormund on my list before, but he was mainly the comic relief in Season 8 of Game of Thrones. It's really sad, spoiler alert, that he didn't end up with the big one, as Brienne didn't really seem to like him at all, and she ended up with Jaime. But Tormund is funny. He's back at, he was at Castle Black, and now he's going past the wall to where the wildlings lived, Hardhome maybe. So, Tormund, number 16. Number 15, Ramsay Bolton. One of the best villains of all time. He's charismatic, he's evil, and he was a fighter. And he was good with an arrow, too. So, Ramsay, awesome character. Plus, he tortured Theon Greyjoy. And we all know how much I hate Theon Greyjoy. So, Ramsay, number 15. Number 14, a character that didn't get a lot of time, but in the 3 episodes he was in, he made a big impact. What can I say? Syrio Forel, Arya's dance instructor. Love Syrio Forel. Number 13, one of the best actors on the show, I think, Sir Davos. I'm surprised Davos, spoiler alert, made it to the end of Game of Thrones. I thought Davos would die in the battle at King's Landing, at least. But Davos has withstood the test of time and has survived, is on the council. He's Master of Ship, I believe his title, or something like that. So Davos, number 13. Number 12, Eddard Ned Stark. I mean, Game of Thrones starts with Ned Stark. Ned Stark's awesome. Season 1, episode number 9. Crazy shit. Ned Stark. Wish we would have got more time on the show. but obviously he's a very important character because the show starts with him, and then his daughters and his son become major important characters on the show. So Ned Stark, number 12. Number 11, Samwell Tarly. Love Samwell. He has that smile and shake of his head that he always does. And it's just hilarious. But Sam, although I was not very impressed with Sam during the Long Night episode, because he really didn't do shit at all. And I'm surprised he made it past that episode. But give Sam credit. He's a good character. He's Grand Maester Tarly now, or Grand Maester Samwell Tarly. So props up to Sam. He survived Game of Thrones. And yeah, he's number 11. Number 10, one of my favorite characters on Game of Thrones. Really like this character. And he went out, spoiler alert, like a beast protecting Daenerys Targaryen. And that would be Jorah Mormont. I love Jorah. I like the actor Ian Glenn. And he just did so much for Daenerys. Even though they were friend zoned, he tried and tried and tried. And then on the Long Night episode, he would not go down. Or if he'd go down and get back up and fight more. And Jorah was great. Loved Jorah. It's sad to see him go, but I mean, that was kind of expected. Number 9, Game of Thrones, favorite character, Cersei Lannister. She was such a great villain. And the funny thing is, spoiler alert, in the episode at King's Landing where Daenerys goes crazy, like I start rooting for Cersei to get out of there and live. And then Cersei was just great. She was a good character. The stuff that she did in season 6, episode 10, Winds of Winter, where she blew up the High Sparrow's place, and just Cersei is awesome, amazing. It's a little anticlimactic, her death scene, but it's great that she died in the arms of the one that she loves, Jaime and Cersei. And I love Cersei's great. I know she's a villain, but I still like Cersei. Hey, Ramsay was 15, so Cersei got on the list. Number 8. A character that didn't get a lot of time on Game of Thrones, but I think had better chemistry with Jon Snow than Daenerys Targaryen. Obviously, they had great chemistry because they ended up getting married, and that would be Ygritte, played by Rose Lindsay, who actually marries Kit Harington, was a year and a half ago or something like that. She was such a good character, and she meant a lot to Jon Snow, and kind of put things in perspective to Jon Snow, and I just really liked her character. And it was obviously sad to see her go in Season 4, Episode 9, I believe, is the episode. So, Ygritte, number 8. Number 7, speaking of Jon Snow, awesome character. Spoiler alert, should have been king in the end, but didn't. Ended up going back to Castle Black, and then going past the wall and going with the wildlings. I don't know if he's just taking them to their home and going back to Castle Black, or staying with the wildlings and tormenting ghosts, but Jon Snow's awesome. I'm really glad that he did reconnect or, get back with Ghost at the end, because it just didn't feel right when he just kind of looked at Ghost and left. Like, I don't know. But Jon Snow was an amazing character, great in battle, and he was just great. I just didn't like his relationship with Daenerys, and what do you know? Jon Snow became the Queenslayer. So Jon Snow, number 7. Number 6, one of the best actors on Game of Thrones, and really underrated. And he is not on trial for being a dwarf, and that would be Tyrion Lannister. I'm glad to see Tyrion make it out of Game of Thrones. He wasn't always my favorite character, but when I had heard something that he was going to get executed in the series finale, I was like, if they end with Tyrion dying when he didn't have to, I'm going to give this episode as low of a score as I can. But that didn't happen, so I was happy. But Tyrion, what a great character, great actor. That whole trial scene, I've been on trial my whole life because I'm a dwarf, and Tyrion is amazing. Can't say enough about Tyrion. Nonetheless, number 5 on the list, Margaery Tyrell. I really like Lady Margaery. I was really sad to see her get blown up by Cersei. That diabolical plan that Cersei had, and Margaery Tyrell knew something was up. Cersei knows she has to be here, so if she's not here, something is up, and she ran out of time, but really liked Margaery Tyrell. She was great. And Lady Olenna, she's good too. She kind of was with Margaery at times. But Margaery Tyrell's number 5. Number 4, Bronn. Bronn had some really funny lines in the series. He was great helping out the Lannisters, Jaime and Tyrion, and just did a lot. And now he's like Master of Coin, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but, well, they ran out of people, so they got to give certain people different positions that they normally wouldn't give. So, Braun, number 4. Number 3, Sandor Clegane, the Hound. I will say this, the Hound probably had the best arc from beginning to end of any character, and I think his story made sense at the end, where some people's stories kind of ended, you're like, it's a head scratcher. But the Hound was awesome. I really loved the Hound. You hated him in the first season, and then you start to like the Hound. He saves Sansa. He says, fuck the king, fuck the queen, dumb cunt. He was just full of great things. And then, fighting his brother, Gregor Clegane, the Mountain, for the Clegane Bull in the Season 8, Episode number 5. Oh my god, that was amazing. So I love the Hound. His relationship with Arya was great too. It's kind of a love-hate relationship, but in the end, he turned out to be a pretty good guy. So the Hound, number 3. Number 2, Jaime Lannister. Pretty good character arc for Jaime, where he started out pushing our soon-to-be king, spoiler alert, Bran Stark, out of the window of the castle, and then to end up where he was, leaving Cersei, but then going back to Cersei, helping Brienne, making Brienne a knight. Jaime was an awesome character. His death, a bit anticlimactic, because he dies holding Cersei, with rubble getting piled on him and Cersei. I'm a little upset about that, but at least Tyrion found him in Cersei's body. That way it meant something to somebody. Because you can't just end Game of Thrones with nobody knowing for sure if Jaime, or at least Cersei, died or not. So that was very touching, and I love Jaime as a character. And of course, you already know my number 1 favorite character of all time on Game of Thrones, Arya Stark. She was awesome. She was amazing. The faceless stuff that she did. Oh, and then Season 8, Episode 3, The Long Night. Oh my god, that was an amazing episode. An amazing episode for Arya. My only complaint with Arya is the fact that she doesn't actually marry Gendry. He proposes to her and she's like, no. Why the fuck did she have sex with Gendry? Oh, because she thought it was going to be her last night on Earth. But still, I was not happy about that. But other than that, Arya in that episode specifically, oh, that was awesome. I mean, where she has her weapon and she's just killing, whites, and then she kills the Night King at the end. It is amazing. So there you have it. There's my top 20 list. Let's recap it in case you were paying attention. Number 20, Grand Maester Pycelle. 19, Tommen Baratheon. 18, Hodor. 17, Osha. 16, Tormund. 15, Ramsay. 14, Syrio Forel. 13, Sir Davos. 12, Ned Stark. 11, Samwell Tarly. 10, Jorah Mormont. 9, Cersei Lannister. 8, Ygritte. 7, Jon Snow. 6, Tyrion Lannister. 5, Marjorie Tyrell. 4, Bronn. 3, the Hound, Sandor Clegane. 2, Jaime Lannister. And number 1, Arya Stark. So do what I said. Make sure you include some of your favorite characters. If you're going to listen to the video, you might as well include your favorite characters. Even if you just do your top 2. Come on. Make sure you like the video or thumb it up, depending on if you're on YouTube or Facebook. I really want those comments, though. And if you're not a subscriber to this channel, what the hell are you waiting for? So make sure you subscribe. I'll still do more Game of Thrones videos, of course. We have The Walking Dead to look forward to. And, of course, I'll be back again soon with another. Have a great day, and I'm out. Peace.